Proverbs chapter 17 verse 9. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. Now notice the word cover, so important in biblical thinking. All sins against people involve some measure of exposure. If I vent anger towards someone, I either humiliate them, publicly exposing their vulnerability, or else I goad them into anger, and that exposes another aspect of their nature. All sexual sins are associated with exposure. Whenever we embarrass somebody, it's exposure. And gossip, which is the subject of this proverb, is the exposure of the person being spoken of. Now, the best metaphor of sin against another person is that of Noah lying exposed on his bed and Ham and Canaan mocking him in some undefined way. Shem and Japheth took the greatest care to walk backwards into the room and cover their father. This was an enormous act of kindness, the covering of someone else's shame, disgrace, or sin. It's a sublime act of love that God commends. He who covers a transgression seeks love. Now, not only the love of the other person, but also the love of God. Do I want to know more of the love of God? Then I must avoid uncovering another and, when necessary, cover their error or transgression by refusing to repeat it. Because if I repeat a matter, that is to say, I gossip, I separate friends, and this is a terrible sin in God's eyes. God treasures unity. Where brothers dwell together in unity, there will I command the blessing. Psalm 133 verse 1. Now it's said that God destroyed Noah's generation because people were vicious to one another. But he spared the generation of Babel, simply spreading them over the earth but not destroying them, because they were at least working together, albeit for a wrong purpose. Do you notice how delicate Jesus dealt with Judas? He could have revealed Judas's hypocrisy and wickedness, but instead he generalized almost casually with the words, "He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me." Matthew 26:23. And after he arose from the dead, concerned for Peter, who had denied him 3 times, he said, "Go and tell my disciples and Peter." He said it so discreetly, with no suggestion of reproof. That's it. Discretion. Am I discreet like Jesus? Am I careful to not expose others? He who covers a transgression seeks love.